One of the most fascinating crop that I've come across on how it is grown is a melon. A watermelon has become a crop that I admire to see in the farm. Many people know this melon that is on your shelves in the grocery stores, on that dining table. Have you seen a melon while it's still in the farm? Today, on A Day with the Farmer, we're going to spend a day with a first-time melon farmer in Taita Taveta County, Zola of Kilimore4cus. And we're going to understand the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what the journey has been looking like for her throughout her 75 days of watermelon farming. Come with me. This is agriculture made attractive. My name is Salimo, the voice of agriculture, the queen of agri-tours. Zola has told me she has eaten enough, so I don't need to share this with her. Let me go. I'm coming back. Let's go meet Zola, who is her first time planting melon. Let's hear what was her experience. Hi Zola.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
All is well?
All is well.
Thank you for allowing us to be in your farm.
You're very welcome.
What's happening here?
I was just checking on maturity because today is actually our harvesting day.
Oh, nice.
Yes, I was just checking to see
how
many tons approximately we're going to get today.
Today is your harvesting?
Yes.
I know that is the joy of every farmer.
Absolutely.
So on this series of A Day with the Farmer, we just get to learn what the journey has been as we take into the activity. So we'll be harvesting together with Zola and the team. But first, let's just understand how, as a first time
melon farmer.
Good. Melon farmer. How has it been? She's also a journalist, so you see? Thank you. How has it been?
Well, the journey has been interesting. And just to give you a background how I got to plant melons. My target crop was onions. And I had a little bit of challenges along the way. I did a nursery. It didn't perform so well. I didn't get the germination percentage that I needed. So a big part of the land was left out because the onions only filled like 1/4 of an acre. And there was this other 3/4 that was remaining. And I was thinking about what to put there so that I can maximize and utilize the land. And networks, a friend of mine just told me, here is 500 grams of melon, go and see where you can plant it.
Wow.
I planted it in my previous season and this remained. So I was like, I've never planted melons, but I can learn.
Yes.
So that's how I decided to grow melons on the rest of the part of the land. I adjusted my land because we had done basins for onions.
Yes.
So we had to adjust to do the melon ones. So I consulted a lot with fellow farmers from around, young people who are farming. And I also had somebody helping me, an agronomist. So we put the seed in the ground. We were so new at it. We didn't know how deep to put the seeds, how shallow to put the seeds, but we did our best. And here we are.
So you took 500 grams. That is how many seeds?
I can't really say how many seeds are in the pack, but there are many seeds because I didn't even finish the 500 grams. Because 500 grams can go to an acre, like it can plant the entire acre of land.
Yes.
So I didn't utilize all the seeds.
And yours is how many acres?
1 1/4.
1 acre and 1/4?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but where you planted melon is?
Approximately half.
Half of
because
that.
In my farm right now I have vegetables, I have onions, and I have watermelons.
So for this specific part, you did, that is a half an acre. You did melon. So here you are, first time experiencing this. You have so many questions, you have so many doubts, anxiety around it. First of all, that step of faith, well done. Congratulations.
Thank you.
When I saw you post that you have melons, and I was like, man, let me tell you, the fact that this is a young person who is now looking for the market for a product that is mature enough and is maybe remaining 4 or 3 weeks to come and harvest, what can be done? And I want to be there as they harvest. I want to see, I want to experience that. Well done.
Thank
Now,
you.
tell us the journey. First of all, what is this irrigation?
This is basin irrigation. So we are in Taveta town, in Taita Taveta county.
Yes.
A place called Mkuyuni. So the thing about this place, we only get rain once in a year.
And which is that once?
Once in a year.
Is this the Jan to April,
No,
or is it the...
It's the short rains, I believe. The one that begins in November.
Yes.
And goes up to
so
December.
Until you guys on Christmas, same.
Same. But the challenge is when it rains, it pours. In Taveta, it floods because the water table. Yeah, the landscape in this place. So a lot of farms flood. So I was actually told, like last year, all these bananas you can see around us were submerged. Yeah, with water.
So it pours.
When it rains, it pours.
Oh my God. So what do you use if it's not rain?
So since it does not rain, like we don't have overhead sort of irrigation from heaven, we in every farm you'll go to, you'll find a well. So we started by digging a well, and the water is very shallow. The water table is very shallow. 4 feet, you already have water.
Nice.
Yeah. So you have to have a well.
So this being a coastal area, is the well salty or fresh?
Actually, the water is salty, and the soil is also salty.
Like this well, if I tested it salt,
It's salty.
I think I want to try.
Let me see.
This is salty.
It's salty.
That's true.
It's salty.
There's a... let me tell you. Have you ever felt the smell of rain?
Yeah.
Now, I felt the smell of rain, but I would tell there's a taste that is,
distinct. It's salty.
Yeah, it's salty.
Yeah. So one of the things that also sweet melons thrive in is the saltiness of the water and the soil.
So wait, this is melon. It is sweet inside.
Sweet inside.
But it had salty soil
Yeah.
and salty water.
Yes.
God has so much to show us and to tell us.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So you did your
Basin
irrigation.
Yeah.
You planted. How deep or how shallow?
How shallow? So here at the basin, this is where the vines grow, spreading and fruiting. But we have furrows where you put the seed.
Yes.
So where I have my, I don't know if you guys can see.
You can go down. Yes. Our days here to do exactly what you're doing.
Where I have my vine. The crop is old, so don't judge the crop. It is past its maturity stage. So where I have this vine is actually where I put my seed.
No, wait. So this is it. Let me show you guys. If you can see, you can tell that this is a raised part and this is a lower part. This is where the water floods.
No, this is where the water floods.
Oh.
This is where the vines
grow. So in between, so the basin is where the vein grows.
Yeah, the vein and the fruiting happens here.
Here. So in between here is where the water floods.
Yeah, so when we are irrigating, like this line you're seeing is the main channel of water.
This one.
So from there, the water comes, then it floods here.
And then
we lock it, we go to the next one, like that. So this is the only place, the furrow, that we put in the water.
But because these vines you don't plant them here. You plant them on this
because
raised
they are supposed to spread. So if you look at the plant, it was actually fascinating for me also to see it grow, because when you put the seed, after 7 to 10 days it germinates and it shoots up and it has like 2 leaves.
Okay.
And you feel like it can't grow into anything bigger.
Okay.
But the more it grows, the more it continues having leaves, vines, and it grows and it spreads. If you had come earlier, you'd have seen it spread all over this place, very green, looking very succulent and beautiful. Yeah. From that, only one seed. And one vine, if you do everything right and the heavens are upon you, because we plant, but we also trust God for the harvest.
Yes.
So when you plant, like one vine can give you up to 4 fruits.
One specific seed which became a vine
can give you up to 4 fruits.
What would cause it not to give you up to 4 fruits?
So the thing that I saw that was a challenge for me, I didn't really know the different stages, what I need to do to protect my watermelons.
Yes.
So I just knew as long as the leaves are healthy, as long as the crop is not being destroyed by a pest, I'm okay. But what I didn't know, at the beginning of the flowering stage, I need to protect, like jealously guard my flowers, because flowers translate into fruits.
Yes.
And once I have the fruits, they're always like small.
Oh.
Like a very, I have one here.
Ah. Are you going to cut it?
Yeah, because we're not going to.
Okay.
So this is actually the flower.
Yes.
And this is the fruit.
Yes.
So this fruit grows into that.
Into this and then
into that.
Okay.
So at this stage, we have very notorious pests, insects, called the melon fly. So once it comes and pierces any part of this fruit, the skin, you are in trouble.
Okay.
So that fruit will not, it will either not mature or it will mature and become deformed.
Like this, is this deformed?
Yeah, yeah.
This is deformed.
Yeah. It will become deformed. So this is not round and stuff. It will become deformed and it will rot. It might mature and then rot. There is one that was affected here. Let me show you guys. You ready? Oh my God. Yeah.
Did you see it? I hope you saw it because I'm not lifting it.
So the melon it can actually grow up to the size of this and just rot, because once the melon fly lays eggs inside this, that's the end of it.
So actually the fly lays eggs, then they're left inside.
Yeah.
So as the melon grows, it grows in with it inside.
Yes, yes,
okay.
yes, yes.
All right.
And then they rot and then you lose. Actually, you see, every crop has a target pest that can really make you lose up to 40%, 60% of your yield.
Wow. Okay.
For maize, we have the fall armyworm.
Yes.
For onions, we have thrips.
Yes.
And now for melons, it's the melon fly.
The melon fly.
Very, very notorious.
Any melon farmer, be careful of the melon fly.
At onset of flowering, if you just see the first flower like this, start. Get your traps. We call them melon fly traps with the pheromone hormones that attract those flies.
Yes.
And then they attract the males, so the males cannot mate with the females, so the females cannot lay eggs on your melons.
That's nice.
Yeah. If the traps in stationed sections in your farm, and you also have insecticide to help you also, like, complement the traps.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where we are standing, I can see there is one that already grew, but it had a worm in it, so it didn't. It started.
Didn't make it.
Yeah. Then there is this. This has done well.
This has done well, but it's also a bit. A bit.
Now the question is, between this and that, what happened that this didn't get to there?
So there are very many factors that can lead to this or that or that. So in every vine there are the fruits. Then you have the watering. So because it is not precision agriculture where you know the flow rate, you know amount of water going through every hole, so you can find there is a vine that received more water and there is a vine that didn't receive a lot of water.
Yes.
That can be one of the factors. And then when we are doing our fertilizer applications, because it is us we are doing, we have errors.
Yes.
There's that room for error.
Yeah.
So you'll find that the feeding of one vine is not the feeding of the other vine. Other things that you can also find is the pests and diseases. This leaf, we actually still have aphids. If you can see them, we still have aphids and mites, and you see this white.
Yes.
That's called a leaf miner. It's an insect. So these insects, they suck the sap from your leaves. The leaves are the ones that feed the fruit. So it's the leaves, the vines, the fruit. So if your leaves are like whatever nutrients that your melon needs to get is being sucked away by the insects, you also minimize the chances of you getting to that size.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is this the biggest melon in your farm?
No.
We have bigger ones.
We have bigger ones.
We will see them in a few.
Yeah.
But tell us, in case you're now in your thought, out of whatever, out of the 1.5 acres, planted half or quarter of the half of the 500 grams. What do you think? What is your projection of the harvest that you'll get here?
The good thing is I don't have the target number of fruits that I should have had because of the challenges that I experienced as a first-time melon farmer. But the good thing is the melon fruits that I have, they weight, because when you're also feeding your melon, you should not think about the weight, because when they're harvesting, it's the weight that counts, that makes the tonnages. Yeah. So if you have you can have very like big fruits, but they have no weight. Yeah, they don't have the weight. So the good thing that I have seen in most of the melons that I have in my farm, the weight. Yes. Yeah, the weight. Okay. The weight is actually really good. So that will lead us to approximately 3.5 to 4 tons of the good melons. Because when they come to harvest, you see grading. There's the ones they will grade and say, okay, for this, because this is grade 1, like good fruits that they're not deformed, they are well-rounded, that is grade 1. For these others that might be deformed but they are mature, now that is grade 2 or grade 3, and now you agree on another price for that grade. Okay. Yeah.
So for you, approximately how much are you?
3.5, 4 tons.
So approximately how much are you selling a ton?
A ton? That's a challenge that we need to speak about. Okay. Because one, also when it comes to route to market, the thing that we struggle with as farmers is brokers. Yes. Yeah, they come and they dictate the price. Yeah, because they're the ones who I've had some come and I felt so violated. Because they come to your farm, they're like, they turn it, they walk through your farm and they're like, madam, hapa hauna fruits mingi. Madam, hii hata haiwezi jaza gari. Itabidi nitafutilie zingine za kujazia. So hii hata sitapima na kilo. Hii hebu tuambiane tu na macho utalipa ngapi. And you have worked hard like 3 to 4 months taking care of that crop. And the challenge is once one comes to your farm, they speak to one another because it's a network. Yes. Even others that you had who had promised to come and so that you can make an agreement, you call them, they don't pick your phones because they have spoken to another and they're like, I need to get produce from that farm and I've told them this price. So everyone else who comes, they will delay you until you get to the place where you're desperate. Maturity of the crop, like the crop is already mature, it can't go past that time. And if you continue, you risk the loss of losing the entire crop. So you budge and you're just like, okay, just come and get it with 14 bob per kilo. Whereas they're going to sell it at 50 Kenya shillings at the market per kilo. 50. So you see the difference between 50 and 15 bob that he's telling you. Yeah. That's like 35 Kenya shillings, which a farmer would have gotten if only we had systems in place that could help us sort such things. So the other question would be now, and this is a challenge I'm throwing to any young farmer. We put so much effort as farmers to farm. We put a lot of effort and a lot of time. But many times there's a gap season where in between the maturity and when the flowers are good, they have come out, now you want to see the fruit now starting to mature and you feel like now I will harvest in the next 1 month. This is a challenge I'm throwing to all of you. This is what we are supposed to do. The same effort that we put in taking care of that crop, the same effort we should put a month before the crop is out to go out there and look for a market. Do you understand? Because this is what I am thinking. If you posted, for example, if you posted, let's say, I have actually been posting. No, it's fine. I'm just thinking. No, I'm just trying to think through. Nini. Yeah, a month before. Yeah, a month before. And then you physically went out in the markets. To source. To source. Because sometimes the person this broker who's coming to is actually someone you know. It might be the market, other than this Taveta, the next market. That might be where this broker is taking the
fruit. You would have taken a bike, gone there and told them niko na fruit kwa shamba. Ama don't even tell them niko na fruit. Anzia kuangalia watu wanaiuza aje. That means utauliza mama moja, mnauziwa aje hii fruit ikikuja hapa? Anakuambia tunaichukuanga na 35. Waambie sawa, mimi nawapea na 30. Ukuje utafute mtu muweke kwa gari upeleke. You get my point?
I get your
Because
point.
let me tell you guys, that effort you put here is what you don't put post-harvest management. And then all of us farmers, we all become victims of, oh my God, the market is good. There is so much need. But brokers have realized farmers do not work hard beyond harvesting. And so they take advantage of the farmers. And that is how farmers don't want to be in the farm anymore, because brokers are taking advantage of them. So farmers, if you're a young person, Mimi, leave alone those, I don't want us to fall into the hands of, you see, do you know why?
We need to do things different.
Yes, do you know why our parents fell into a trap that to date we are suffering? They had tea and coffee, but they didn't know where the market is. The government took it over.
Yeah.
And then they paid them peanuts and kept them harvesting this for them. Ask government officials in those cooperatives, they don't even know how to pick tea. They don't even understand.
They don't know how it grows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't. But what did they do? They realized a gap, they fit in it, because farmers, and I'm telling you this, young people, we need to listen. Farmers do not put effort beyond harvesting, and we need to put effort. We need to put effort. Agriculture can only be made attractive if it is economically viable. And you as Kilimore4cus, you have to say, if I'm focusing on Kilimo is not only farming, it's beyond here.
Yep.
The agri-food system is until I get this melon in my table and I am making my smoothie. So how are you making it get to me, yet you are the farmer? You understand? So let's think about it, fam, okay?
Yep.
Let's think about it. Anyway, sorry I interrupted, because
okay.
I felt that one we have to talk about it as young people. And even when you're talking to people on Kilimore4cus, let young people understand that effort you put it beyond here. Don't allow brokers to take over. Brokers are the new cooperatives.
That's true.
You see how milk farmers milk their cows, feed it, and then when they get to the cooperatives, they are paid pennies for a liter of milk.
Yeah.
That is not what should be happening. We need to do away with brokers. Okay? So next time we are planting, tell me we have planted. I will help you. Let's see. Let actually me and you work together on that strategy. If it works, like there is no broker who came for your 1 acre of melon.
Yeah.
We'll say it worked.
We'll say it worked.
Deal?
Deal.
All right. Deal. So finally, once you harvest and you want to clear, first, what do you feel? Do you feel like you did a good job and you want to do this fruit again after the intercrop you're doing?
I feel like I did my best.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like I did my best because through this planting, I've gone through the whole cycle of the crop.
Yeah.
Because things like this is blight for people who don't know. This is blight. The reason why you're not seeing green leaves is because of blight. So I have seen all the diseases. I have seen all the insects. I have seen what I did not do right, and I've also seen what I did right. Like I've gone through the entire cycle, and for me that's a learning curve that I appreciate.
Amazing.
So since it was my first time, I wouldn't put so much pressure on myself. Like I didn't do it, I didn't get 10 tons, I didn't get 15 tons.
It was a lesson.
It was a learning curve, and I feel like once I go in to do it again, I will do it much better.
Amazing. Yeah, that is well done. So what crop are you putting out of this?
So, as I said, Taveta gets rains once in a year.
Yeah, and you're about to get into that rains now.
And we're about to get into that rains now. So what I will do after I remove the melons, because we also have to take care of the soil and take care of like good agricultural practices. You don't just remove the same thing and return the same thing immediately.
That's true,
You have to rotate your farm.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to do another crop that will take a very short period that will also help me minimize my cost, because right now I'm doing basin irrigation and I am using a water pump, a petrol water pump, so there's fuel costs.
Yes.
So once the rains come, I will have like irrigation from the rain.
Yeah.
So I'm doing a crop that I can do in November, December, probably harvest in January, and then now come and do the commercial melon in, say, February.
So which crop might that be, maybe?
I'm thinking about maize.
Okay.
Yeah, because maize is not as labor intensive, or you need to give it too much attention as melon
melons.
fruit. Yeah, and I can be able to utilize the rain. I can be able to utilize, like I won't be there supervising my farm hand every step of the way, because this is a very delicate crop. If you don't take the time to take care of the crop, you will lose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for giving us a chance to learn from you, from the lessons you learned. I'm going to ask my camera person, who is also a guy who came in to just understand a few things about melon. Please cross the side. I want to cross that side because I want you to ask the right questions, because I know you're heading out to farm.
Okay. I am,
Nice one.
My name is Dennis. I am a poultry farmer in Limuru. This piece of land that you have melons, and I see a few onions. Do you own the land? Have you leased it? Or is it government land that you are using?
So I have leased the land, for a period of time. And my dreams and hopes are, through the lease, I can be able to actually do farming. And farming is a business, guys. It's not a side hustle or a part-time thing. It's actually something that people do, and they get money. So my dreams and hopes are to get to the place where I am self-sustainable, to get my own land and actually do it, and even put infrastructure that will help me, because being a young person, I am exposed to things that help me to do it the right way. Things like utilizing solar energy from this place, using targeted like drip irrigation, things that can increase my success rate. Yeah.
You have answered one of my questions. I wanted to ask why not use solar when you're pumping water, and yet you said earlier that it gets really hot here. So thank you for answering my question before I asked.
You're welcome.
Yeah. To the other question, where do you source your seeds? Because I've had farmers who like propagate their seeds first, and then they get to them as seedlings in little after they have already grown, and then they plant, and they do it like that. Do you propagate your own seeds, or you just plant the seed and it grows?
Okay, there are two ways actually you've mentioned of growing melon. You can do direct seed. I did direct seeding, or you can do a nursery and then you come and transplant.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you're doing a nursery, you can either get your seeds from companies that do seedlings, or you can get your seeds from your local agrovet and actually do the nursery yourself. But if you are, like for myself, it was my first time. So my success rate was not as perfect as somebody who has done it over time. So I always say this: if you're a farmer and you feel like you will not raise the correct seedlings to transplant to get you where you want to be, because it all begins there, get somebody to do it for you and purchase high quality seedlings. Or if you know you can do a nursery and it will perform well, do the nursery, but get quality certified seeds. So me, I got my seeds from a friend, as I mentioned, but the seeds were certified. Sukari F1 is actually the variety that is on the farm. It's a hybrid seed and it is certified. Yeah. Okay. So you see how we buy seeds, and there's that place where you scratch and you send to Kefis, and they tell you if the seed is, fake, or if it is original, or if it is good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Are there farms that propagate seeds like in a greenhouse setup, and then you just go buy the already germinated seedling and then you just come plant instead of doing the nursery? For melons, it doesn't work like that. It does.
There are.
Is it more expensive?
So what farmers actually find a challenge is when you buy seedlings, somebody will sell to you maybe a shilling per seedling, and so a farmer can feel like, say for onions, I need like 150,000 seedlings for this a whole acre. You get it. So a farmer feels like 150,000 is a lot of money. If I buy the seed, I might buy it at maybe 20 or 30,000 and raise it myself, take care of it myself. I cut the cost by half. But what you have to look at is the cost benefit analysis. Will I take care of the seed to a place where I'll have like 99% germination rate of quality seed? If I don't trust myself, I get seed from a certified seed company, and I increase my success. So it is not like a straight line.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me, because I'm a poultry farmer, I usually get visits from Kenchik or my local agrovet those vets. They come to my farm and visit, and they tell you, I have seen that your water is like this, and they tell you how to correct. Do you have like that kind of a support system, either between farmers or between you and maybe an extension officer, if there is one? I highly doubt there is one. Do you have like that kind of a support system?
I am lucky I have that kind of support system because my background, I studied project management and I have worked in agricultural projects for now 10 years. So I've been supporting farmers in terms of agronomic support, seed inputs, and all those things. And that is what motivated me to now do my own solo project, because that was actually my work, to make sure an agronomist that we have as a company is visiting the farmer, to make sure that the farmer has all the inputs that they need, the seed that they need, to organize farm field days and events and connect farmers to knowledge and technologies that are current. So my network has a lot of agronomists, it has a lot of people who deal with seed and inputs and stuff. So I have so many people that I can consult, and I also have friends, colleagues who I have formerly worked with, who are within and work within. I had one who was helping me through this process. He would come and say, I see you have aphids, let's deal with it before it gets to a place where we can't control. I see you have blight, I recommend you to get this or that. So I am grateful that I have those networks because I've been in the field. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. It is very interesting. Most of us farmers don't have that kind of a system. Even in between farmers, you find, like for example, I'm a poultry farmer. There are poultry farmers around my area who cannot visit my farm. Because
why?
Sometimes I don't know. I don't want to speculate, but some of them, I don't want to say they're not good people, because they are to some other person, maybe not me, but there is that, I don't know what to call it, but it's good that you actually had a support system. It helps. I have seen it work for me very many times. There are very many times I could have lost my flock, but it came to just somebody came and visited and told and said there is something going wrong there, and fixed it, and we did not lose the crop.
So one thing I'd say is also an encouragement to other farmers. We win together. So don't be mean with information.
Yeah.
Don't be mean with what knowledge you have. So you see me, I have done it and I have gone through it, and I can tell somebody one or two things that can help them. Say if they are coming to a new season or they are facing a challenge that I faced before. So the only way for all of us to win and not feel like when you're thriving, I feel bad because you're thriving. We are all struggling to feed the nation and to also get money from this thing that we call farming. So farmers, feel free to share information with your fellow farmers. Don't let them drown when you know very well that you can help them. And also feel free to introduce your networks to people who you see that they are helping you. Because also, one thing I'll mention, I was getting so many advices from everyone would pass by my farm. Oh, your melons are like this, you need to do this. Oh, your melons are like this, you need to do this. Another thing you need to do as a serious commercial farmer, do the research, do the work, go online, read, attend lives of people, go watch YouTube videos of people who have done it. Like, do the work. Yes, get the advice from people, but not everything is acceptable, because somebody can come and tell you, oh, at this stage your onions, they need to be sprayed a herbicide that is selective for the weeds. Then you spray the herbicide and all your onions, they dry up.
Oh my, that's a big loss.
Yeah, so you have to, you will get advice, but also you need to be conscious and make the decision by yourself. Even the agronomist can come and tell me do this and that, but I see and feel like I don't need to do this because last week I did this or I did this spray, but I saw the population of the aphids did not decrease, but there is a certain product that I used that helped decrease the population. Another thing that I can tell farmers, be careful of agronomists who are sales agronomists. They're pushing products, they're not helping you.
Okay. Yeah.
Somebody can come to your farm and tell you, get this product from us, it will sort your problem. They have targets, it's their job, it's their work. They have targets. By end month, we need to have sold 50 bags of maybe something that they are selling. Don't go blindly.
Okay.
Like, speak to people, be open, research, and also sometimes go with your gut. Some people just want to sell their products genuinely, because right now so many companies are there selling different molecules of different things, and everyone wants to sell because they're in business.
They're in business,
And
yeah.
some people don't really care if you lose your crop. They're in business. They are working.
They make their money.
They make their money.
Now that you mentioned
Yeah.
these things, medicine, things that you spray, how cash intensive and how labor intensive are those, like applying herbicides to half an acre of land? Is it okay? Do you apply like a lot of it, ama kidogo, ama you just don't until you see ni kama aphids zimekuja, and then you spray? Is there like a system to it? And if there is a system, is it intensive? Yeah.
You need to have a program, because I always say, the same way business people have a business plan, you need to have a plan as a farmer. So you know the crop that you're going to use, the fertilizers that you're going to use at different stages, and also a spray plan that you are going to use. Of course, it's not cast on stone that you will use that spray plan as by the book, the way it is, because different things come up and you have to be flexible and innovate to deal with those challenges. But the best advice is be preventive rather than curative. Don't wait for your farm to have like an entire infestation of aphids, then you start dealing with the problem. So there are preventive herbicides and fungicides, things that prevent you from getting to that place of, oh, I lost everything, what can I do? What, like first aid, don't do first aid in your farm, because it's also a business and you're looking to get money from it. So be very proactive. No, the weather has changed. Right now, the nights are very cold or the days are very hot. This can lead to blight. I need to do a systemic fungicide that is controlling blight. So if you do preventive, you'll do less sprays, because say you're doing one spray in 2 weeks and you have not seen any challenge. But when it comes to maybe you have an infestation, you might end up doing up to 3-4 sprays because the insects are there and they're not going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. From the conversations that we have had today, I have learned, or rather I have stamped it home, that not everything that I do as a farmer is left to any other person. I am ultimately the end all be all in my farm. That is the greatest lesson I have learned today, from disease control to market, going to look for market on my own without relying on the brokers and stuff, and all that I have learned as a result of agriculture made attractive. Yeah, amen. Yeah, I don't know what to say that last part. Ya kuunganisha hii kitu.
I love the amen. So thank you so much, Agriculture Made Attractive, for coming to my farm, and it really encourages me as a young farmer. It shows that there are people who look at what you're doing, so you don't need to praise yourself like you're not doing things right. You just need to do it and be consistent, and you will win. So I love to do what I do. Many people ask, why are you farming and you're a young lady and you can be doing other things? Yesterday I had 2 people come to my farm to buy watermelons, and they're like, we've never seen ladies farm. Why do you do this? Is this a side hustle? Why are you doing it? I was like, no, this is actually my job. This is what I love and I'm passionate about. Yeah, so it is something that we as the young people need to do, because our grandmothers are not in the farms anymore. They're old. And we need to take it up. If we don't do it, who will feed us and the generation that is coming after us? So I am so proud of myself for what I have achieved on this first round of doing watermelons. And I also tell stories of farmers and encourage people to learn from farmers, because I realized there's a gap. Farmers are doing good things, but nobody's telling their stories. So we are the ones to tell our stories in a way that we understand, and in a way that people can put familiar faces to it, so that they can be able to take up what we are saying. As young people, agriculture is good. Okay, yes, it is good. Why? It is challenging. Why? Because we will be candid with one another. It's not like a silver bullet. Nikieka mita nitatoa mita tano. Sio avieta. You have to work for it. So Kilimore4cus is my brand. I tell farmers stories, and I also encourage young people to be the next gen farmers. And I also farm. Zola Madaga signing out. Thank you, Ama.